The story starts here, in the heart of the city.
We continue to follow the ongoing developments.
The student group is the first to take on such a project.
Everyone is waiting for a vote on the bill.
The team is winning at a record-breaking pace.
It's an issue for residents here and around Boston.
The story is coming up on Suffolk U News. Hello and welcome to this edition of Suffolk U News, the weekly news program brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Carla Rojo from Lowell.
And I'm Dan Lamparello from Dracut. We're happy to be coming to you from our studio in downtown Boston, courtesy of your local cable company and the internet.
It is in the record books. The running of the 118th Boston Marathon is history, and we have been telling the stories of spectators and runners from the beginning
to the end. And as always, the race began early Monday morning in Hopkinton in 4 waves this year due to the number of runners in the race. It was blue skies and mild temperatures to start. And from the start, state and local police lined the 26.2-mile route more so than ever before. While the day was a success, some felt the heightened security was over-formalized and didn't attend because of the new normal.
Of course, no bandits. A lot of our friends have run as bandits other years. So it's quite different. So I've had a number of folks that said that they would wait and come again next year when things are more normal.
In addition to heavy security personnel presence, security cameras were installed along the route from start to stop.
The increase in law enforcement didn't stop spectators from showing up. A crowd of 1 million people, doubled the usual number, lined the 26.2-mile course to cheer on runners. It was a fitting gallery for the second largest field ever in the Boston Marathon. Among the estimated 32,000 runners was Suffolk University senior Connor Finley. There he is in the orange, completing his first ever marathon in less than 4 hours.
Lots of first-time runners on Monday and lots of hours for the thousands to make it to Boylston Street and the famed finish line. Here's the scene shortly after 6 o'clock, runners still crossing the line and spectators growing hoarse cheering them on. With the sun setting, the energy and determination to finish this marathon was rising. Running, walking, or crawling, the point was to finish strong.
I'm an employee of Brigham and Women's Hospital 1 year ago, and as a first responders, it was amazing to be a part of an organization that was so capable in answering to the needs of the marathon. Personally, this is a milestone. I just turned 30, and I needed something to keep pushing me forward.
For some runners, it took more than 7 hours to cross the finish line, but unlike last year, all runners had the opportunity to finish.
While the roads are now clear of runners, the motto of the marathon won't be leaving the streets anytime soon. We brought you first news of this story in progress back in February. Now Governor Deval Patrick has signed a bill that will allow the creation of the Boston Strong license plate. The license plate shown here will feature a design showing support for those affected by the bombing. Each plate will cost $50 and with all proceeds going to the one fund. The Massachusetts Department of Transportation expects the license plates to be available by late summer.
Also this summer, you may be digging a little deeper to get to where you're going. The MBTA is proposing a 5% fare hike for subway, bus, and commuter rail service. If approved, subway and bus fare would increase by 10 cents and commuter rail fare by $2. The hike would go into place starting July 1st. The T will be holding a series of public meetings over the next 2 weeks to gain riders' input. For a list of dates, times, and locations, visit mbta.com. Once again, that's mbta.com.
It's a conversation often avoided on campuses and universities, sexual assault. Suffolk University is bringing that conversation to campus throughout the month. But as April comes to a close, those who fight against sexual violence fear that assault awareness in April won't lead to more dialogue in May.
It can't all just be in 1 month because that's not enough time. It's a bigger issue than we're giving it time for, and I just think that needs to be a conversation that happens and continues to happen until it's solved.
Solving sexual assault might be a tall order, but for Suffolk University senior Allie Johnson, it's one that her university, as well as others, should be working on.
I think everybody in all schools across the country could be doing more about it. I think that's one of the problems is that people don't want to talk about it, so they kind of like keep it more under the radar than maybe some other issues, and I think Suffolk could probably go above and beyond what they're doing already.
Nearly 80% of incidents of sexual violence involve a family member, significant other, or a friend. So while it takes a stranger attack to start the conversation, Boston City Councilor at Large Ivana Presley believes it's the fear of accusing friends or family that can mute it.
The reality is that most people are violated and assaulted by someone they know. And I think that's what makes this such an uncomfortable conversation.
But Presley hopes that conversation will continue, both on campuses and in communities.
Anything that breaks at the bonds of community and erodes at the fabric of us is everyone's problem. And sexual violence is everyone's problem.
Presley will be speaking at Northeastern University on April 26th as part of a day devoted to survivors of sexual violence.
With May just a week away, colleges and universities are announcing their graduation speakers. Former Tonight Show host Jay Leno will take the podium for Emerson College's commencement. U.S. Representative Joseph Kennedy III will be speaking at Mount Ida College in Newton. Tennis star Billie Jean King will address Simmons College here in town. Michael Bloomberg will be filling Oprah's shoes this year at Harvard. And at Emmanuel College in the Fenway, the One Fund Boston administrator Kenneth Feinberg will address its graduating students. Here at Suffolk, State Street Bank CEO Jay Hooley is among our graduation speakers next month. Suffolk University just passed its final exam. The school with the heart in the heart of the city was once again approved for accreditation. The New England Association of Colleges and Universities awarded continued accreditation through the year 2020. Accreditation plays a key role in determining the quality of a college and universities across the world.
More than 2 million Americans are graduating this spring. Many have job prospects, while most will leave school with debt. So rather than deal with that debt, some students are taking apprenticeships rather than going to college. It gives the opportunity for students to earn and learn, earning a paycheck while learning on the job. Beacon Hill project manager Frank Conte explains why some students would consider apprenticeship over college.
If debt becomes such an issue, and if let's say parents do not perceive college education as holding the value it held for them, I think then you're going to see a shift away from colleges and into apprenticeship.
Overseas, Germany and Switzerland have followed the apprenticeship model for years, and their unemployment rates are currently the lowest in Europe.
With more than 180 reported deaths from heroin overdoses in 4 months, Mayor Marty Walsh has called for an increased action in to confront this epidemic. Suffolk U News reporter Katie Shambo spoke with Boston's first responders to learn about a new tool they're getting to help turn the tide and save lives.
Boston firefighters are getting ready to receive a new tool, Narcan, to help combat an increasingly common emergency.
You don't hear heroin overdose on the call. We just get it as a medical, so we don't know what to expect.
Narcan is a drug used to counter the effects of opioid overdose, specifically the life-threatening depression of the central nervous system and respiratory system. According to national reports, heroin abuse is on the rise across the country, but Boston is one of the hardest hit cities. These efforts are part of the city's response to the unprecedented rise in overdoses since the early 2000s.
The fire department gets there first, so I mean, if that can save a life, I mean, I've seen it work, it works wonders. Yeah, it's definitely something we should have.
Boston firefighters are not the only ones getting access to Narcan in its expanded program. Health officials are also giving Narcan to families of potential overdose victims to provide help before the first responders can even arrive.
I don't do heroin anymore, but the last hospital I was in, they gave it to me because we were talking about friends of mine, and they showed me how to use it.
According to health officials, Narcan has saved the lives of more than 2,000 overdose victims across the Commonwealth since 2006. Katie Shambo, Suffolk U News.
The fire department is the last of the emergency personnel in Boston to carry Narcan for overdose victims.
It's America's oldest ballpark, and we are going to show it to you like you've never seen it before.
How one company is forming Fenway coming right up. Also ahead, spring has sprung. Let the paddling begin. Our Suffolk U News report is next as Suffolk U News continues.
This is the moment I knew. His future had no boundaries.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Spring is finally here. We have you covered on Suffolk Scene, Spring Edition, from Fenway to Boston Public Garden.
Suffolk U News reporter Jessica Nappy joins us live here in the studio to tell us a little bit more about what's going on.
Carla, Dan, I have you covered on Fenway in a new way. You've never seen it before, but don't get too excited. It's just a replica. America's oldest ballpark is being featured in a way you've never seen it before. The new Legoland Discovery Center in Somerville put together a small-scale version of Fenway. In this video, you can see the building process unfold as one man brings the historic ballpark to life. The model took 18 days and 28,000 Lego pieces to complete. The model will be on permanent display at Legoland Boston when it opens its doors next month. And voila, a spinning Fenway. I bet you never thought you'd see that. Only here on Suffolk U News, and of course, Legoland in Somerville. The Celebrity Series Boston is continuing its 75th anniversary celebration with more special performances through the month of May. The program's communication director, Stephanie Chains, says no matter what your taste in entertainment, classic or modern, you'll find something you enjoy in the upcoming Alvin Ailey Dance Company performances.
They're performing new works this season by Canadian choreographer Azure Barton, something by Wayne McGregor and Bill T. Jones as sort of a modern part of the program. And then they're also performing more classic Ailey works.
This is your last chance to catch a live Celebrity Series event until the fall season. To purchase tickets, visit celebrityseries.org. Once again, that website is celebrityseries.org. When most of us think of Faneuil Hall, we think of another historic place in Boston where we can eat and shop. Well, according to the website lovehomeswap.com, Faneuil Hall ranks number 7 on a list of 50 most visited tourist attractions in the world, beating out popular places like Disney World and the Eiffel Tower. While 18 million people visit this historic marketplace annually, the Las Vegas Strip gets first place with more than 39 million visitors a year. If you love food and science, then this is the event for you. The MIT Museum is hosting the Cambridge Science Festival, taking place now through April 27th. The festival includes, but is not limited to, a dark matter chocolate laboratory and healthy cooking demonstrations. The festival costs $10 for adults and $5 for kids. This Sunday will be the last time you can attend, starting at 10 a.m. and ending at 4 p.m., so go out last. The Swan Boats are here in Boston, and they're here to stay. Swan Boat rides last about 15 minutes, taking you around the garden. Rides cost only $3 for adults and $1.50 for kids. Having been up and running since 1877, the owners assure that there are no other swan boats of this kind anywhere in the world. The boats will be open until September 21st, but catch them now through the summer to enjoy the warm weather on the ride. The swan boats aren't the only attraction at the Boston Public Garden. While you're there, walk around the 24 acres and enjoy the entertainment. Now that spring has arrived, balloon artists have gathered at various spots around the public garden. Kids are lining up to have balloon toys made, ranging from Spider-Man to swords. And coming up on Mother's Day, May 11th, families can dress up like ducklings and walk in a procession for what is officially called Ducklings Day. This event costs $35 per family for registration, which includes snacks and some entertainment. I can't wait to visit the Boston Public Garden and take a nice swan boat ride, and maybe not today because it's raining out, but eventually.
I'm really excited to go over to Legoland. That seems like it's going to be a
Oh,
lot of fun.
me too.
Let's plan that trip in a month.
Let's do it.
And how about the Alvin Ailey Dance Company? I've seen all the posters and the amazing leaps that these people do. I can't even
incredible.
imagine.
I can't even imagine.
I'd break
I'm
it
with
up.
you there. I'm with you there.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jess.
Thanks, Jess. That does it for this edition of Suffolk U News, the weekly news program brought to you by the Department of Communication and Journalism at Suffolk University. I'm Carla Rojo.
And I'm Dan Lamparello. Thank you for watching us here on your local cable company or on the internet.
This is the last Suffolk U News broadcast of the semester. We will bring you the biggest stories on our website or Facebook page if warranted over the summer.
Then this fall, Suffolk U News will return, bringing you more from the school with the heart.
With the heart in the city. We look forward to seeing you then.